Hello, and thank you so much for joining us for another edition of the Wildcat Walkthrough. It's time for the 2022 season, and we have with us the head coach of the Dunbar Wildcats, Coach Todd Lawson. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Steady. How you doing this morning?
Well, I'm doing great and excited, ready for a football game. And how often is it that you open up the season on a Saturday morning?
It's not, it's not too often. It was just I should say, just the luck of the draw. Really, that's the only Saturday game we're going to have. But due to the accessibility of stadiums and how many schools we have playing in Fort Worth, it just happens like that. And this year, I was just in a situation where I had to have a home game, and that was the only thing that was available. So to kind of get it out of the way early.
All right, so you had to make adjustments, but let's recap. Let's talk about the season. I've been on your social media page for the Dunbar Wildcats, and I see you guys got a lot of activities. And can you kind of walk us through, Coach, and tell us what it was like to prepare for this particular team of Wildcats?
With this group, we have a good set of seniors that's coming in, and that's here. So a lot of with the activities, we kind of just was a lot involved just over the summer and things like that, getting them involved, getting them to camps and things of that nature, and just kind of getting them in to work out and do what they need to do in order to be successful. Because we just tell them, the football season just don't start with the season. When the season is here, it starts right when the season's over with. So as soon as the season over with, you start preparing for the next season. So the season is actually won during the summer when these guys should work it out and doing things to help them to get better.
How many starters do you have returning back from last year's team?
Okay, starters I have on the offensive side, we have 5, and on defense we have 4. But we have a lot of guys that maybe didn't start, but was able to get some experience in. So we got a real good nucleus of guys with experience. So we just got to bring them young guys into the fold, and just kind of get them caught up to the game. And I think this will be their first big game, so they get to see what's going on. And then just hopefully they just get better as the weeks progress.
Gotcha. This week's opponent, of course, going to be Wilmer Hutchins. Now, you had a couple of scrimmages. Last week you did Poly. And who was the first scrimmage against?
Well, the first scrimmage was against the Wichita Falls Hershey, which was a very good scrimmage. They're ranked number 3 in the state. So that was good to get them. They came into our house, and that was a good scrimmage. That was a measuring stick. We can kind of see how we matched up, and we did pretty well. We gave up a couple of big plays. But that second team, but that was to be expected. So you just trying to grow from them and show the guys the mistakes what was made and just improve.
All right, and then of course against Poly, you went over. How did that go last weekend?
It went well. It was good. We kind of kept some of our guys out. We kind of got a lot of our younger guys a lot of playing time because we do have a bunch of freshmen that came in and got so we kind of put them in a little hot water. We put them up against a lot of Poly's number two offenses just to see how they was going to react, and they did real well. So they pretty much did more of that scrimmage, and at the end, we brought in our starters on the defense. Now, the offense did play, but the starters on the defense, we kind of held them out for the end of that scrimmage just to kind of get our young guys and get them a lot of work in.
With your freshmen and your sophomores, your juniors and senior, how many do you have out there right now that's
totally we're right at 65 right here. We still got a few others that's getting paperwork in and things like that, younger guys. So we should be right around between 75 and 80 and totally in there. So that's a big plus right there. So we can get that 75 and maintain those, and that's something to really build on throughout the program.
Now, when you have these underclassmen or so, like your freshmen, are you able to have like a freshman team, or will they just play JV?
Majority of their games are going to be played up at the JV level, but we do have a couple of chances there. We have some schools that the numbers are down, so we're gonna take those freshmen and let them play a whole another team of just freshmen. So I've already contacted some schools like that, so I'm just waiting on those dates with them, and we'll be able to take them out there. They'll be able to play some freshmen on freshmen.
All right, any underclassmen that's going to be stepping up, such as a freshman and sophomore, that will be participating on the varsity level? Do you see that progress, or
one of the most promising freshmen we're going to have a big kid, Zion Williams. You probably remember his big brother was Jalen Williams, but his brother coming in at 6'4", 330. He's a freshman, so he'll be on the offensive line. So that's a big plus of a young freshman that's coming in. And then, as far as your sophomores and things like that, we got some guys like King. King will be playing a little bit of cornerback. He'll start at the corner, but he'll play a little bit of receiver as a speed guy. We'll have a guy, Cameron Wiley, who plays safety. So we have a couple of young sophomores that'll be stepping in, that'll be playing key roles.
All right, well, that's good. Let's talk about your starters. First of all, I see that I've seen, let's see, Keyshawn Mills. He's going to be a senior. He's a defensive end, 6'7". I think I saw where he had the letters SFA, Stephen F. Austin. Then I saw Grambling. So that means he's got some looks. Talk about
that. Yes, he's got some things on the table, and he went through a knee injury last year. He had an ACL, so he's coming back from that pretty good. So we just kind of taking it slow with him. Hopefully, he can just get himself in his shape, football shape. That's gonna be the biggest thing for him. So, but he's played in both scrimmages. He's done well. He's been every workout, so he's doing well. So we hopefully he's going to have a good year. We just got to keep him healthy, get him ready to go.
And shout outs to his family, because I saw his mom in picture. I say, and that's one thing we got to talk about. We got to talk about parents, because what does it take for a parent to be involved with their kids while they're playing sports?
That's a big incentive. I mean, that's a big thing. And a lot of times I just use myself as an example, and it's just the parent involvement that makes such a big difference. Because a lot of times, the kid may not want to do nothing. He may not be feeling like he wants to practice and things like that, and then they can just go home and the parent not really know. But when you got those parents that are involved, they're calling me on my phone, "Coach, you have practice today, or what's going on?" And boom, and you just let them know. Now we have practice every day. Next thing you know, they got those kids right back up here, So the parent environment is a very, very important role in building a program and having success within your program.
Yeah. Well, I want to share this with you because a couple of weeks ago we heard about what happened to Coach over there in Lancaster. And I'm going to say this: it's serious, but it ain't that serious. I'm going to repeat that. It's serious because you want your kids to be involved. But it ain't that serious when you come out there and on a scrimmage and do what happened in that situation. So, I mean, when you heard that, Coach, what went through your mind?
Man, it's just it's an very unfortunate situation. And you just have to just pray about it and just wish for the best, because you definitely want to as a coach and myself directly, and I talk with my sister. I want them to be able to coach the kids with passion and be able to coach the kids as if they were their own. So that's just one of those instances that you have. But again, you have that parent involvement and things of that nature. A lot of those conversations are being held before you even get to the field. So that's a big plus that helps in those type of regards. And man, it's a crazy thing. You just don't wish it on anyone. And there's ways, you just kind of think of what are the ways that you can avoid those things happening again. It's very, it's difficult for that.
I'm sharing the screen right now. It says, "Don't steal your tomorrow by a foolish act today." What made you want to post that, Coach?
Well, just what it says. And a lot of times we talk with our kids about the decisions that they make. And one thing about talking with our kids about the decisions that they made, a lot of things that they can do right now or do at the spur moment to cost them their lives. It could cost them the majority of their lives, because hey, I'm a product of Dunbar. I went here and I got guys that I went to school with that some of them are decisions that they've made. Some of them are just not getting out of the penal system. And you're like, you done missed out your 20s, your 30s, and your 40s, most of your 40s, and you're getting out into the world now. And it's a whole different, world. A simple act that you chose to do, but just at the spur of the moment. So, but that's kind of that thing. And when something like that, and that's a Dunbar graduate who put that up there as well. And when you just see things like that, you try to just post it to get some things on my kids' mind, to just have them thinking about that, because I know they're dealing with things. I know they're dealing with pressure, but just trying to get them to understand there's a better way and trying to think about their actions before they do it.
All right. Now I'm going to share a good thing on the screen right now, because this is in the weight room. Who we got in here? What's going on right here, Coach?
Oh, that's Gene. That's Gene. He's doing deadlifts. He's doing deadlifts right there. But we just had the guys in there, was pepping him up, getting him ready, and that's our running back Gene. So that was one thing. We just spent a lot of time in the weight room, building camaraderie. Because you hear guys say, "Hey, Coach, I got a personal trainer."
And I tell them that's fine. It's great that you have a personal trainer, but we're trying to build camaraderie with our team because the relationship that I'm trying to get them to understand are going to carry far beyond Dunbar. And then
Yeah.
that's a big important thing to me is that they build it. So, we have kids now so into the phones and playing games and they go in a room, close a door, and they're not communicating with one another, anything like that. So I'm just trying to build that camaraderie with any good team that you have. They're going to have that camaraderie among themselves.
All right. Well, there's another moment I saw, and I'm going to share this one because, man, I say, man, you have done a tremendous job, and I'm grateful that you accepted us at the BGC Sports Network to come in there. I don't know if this is our 9th or 10th year, but we've been doing it a long time. But this is the part I like the most when you have this right here at a service. It looks like y'all at a church and someone is speaking to them. What happened there, Coach?
Okay, they call it like a Super Bowl Sunday, and we've been doing that. We started probably about 4 years ago, but we kind of toned it down during the COVID, and then we went back and just taking the kids there. And
my thing is, to get our kids to get out and let the older lady that's on there, she's at the bottom. She's a graduate of Dunbar as well. And but they can kind of see the elders of the community, be around the elders. And like I always say, man, you can gain a lot of wisdom from our elders. And nowadays, a lot of our kids, they consider elders 40 years old. So they never get around those 60, 70. So, but a lot of times you don't see those types of elders unless you're in a church.
Yeah.
So that's just the way that we can just go back and they invite the kids in, they feed them, just talk to them. People of the community and things of that nature. Well, I always tell the kids they never know who's watching. And
Gotcha.
So they can see these people of the neighborhood. So when you see them out in public, go speak to them. And I get a lot of letters and emails back of where they may run into some of our kids at the mall or something like that. And they'll say, Coach, they've been very respectful kids. And a guy from South Lake,
Gotcha.
he wrote me a long letter. He was on an airplane. He was on a plane on his way to a business meeting, and he just took the time out to shoot me an email that he ran into some of our kids at Northeast Mall. And he was saying how respectful and mannerable they were, because one of them just had on a football shirt. He just kind of sent it, and I just send that on to the kids and let them know, people are watching, and they kind of laugh and chuckle at it. But I'm like, that's a guy that, he could care less about you pretty much because he never come in contact with you. But he took out the time to do that and just to give you all words of encouragement and just keep doing what you're doing.
Gotcha, man. Well, I tell you what, there's only one person that can wear the shirt that says the bar, and that's Lonnie Lawson.
Yeah, man, one thing, now he's supposed to be one of my volunteer coaches this year. One thing, due to the shortage of teachers and things of that nature, one thing that the district did this year, they're going to allow volunteer coaches to be able to come out on the field after they go through the security checks and background checks. I hope he can get through the background check. But
I'll be looking for your brother, man. I love that guy. Shout out to your sister Belinda too as well.
But I would definitely let him know.
Please let him know. We're gonna be up here making some noise in the press box and everything. So in closing, as we get ready for this game on this Saturday morning, what is your biggest concern about Coach Barrett's Wilmer Hutchins Eagles?
Well, the biggest concern, they're going to be ready because, last year we kind of got in there on them. We had a good, big victory on them last year. And, one thing that he brought to my attention, he was like, hey, man, your kids was well conditioned last year.
Even though the number was, small numbers, but they was really well conditioned. And so I know he's making it a point. He's making it a point that they be ready and they be well.
Yeah, because they had several players that pulled up cramps. They had to stop the game. I remember that over there.
But like I tell you, when kids having cramps, they give us a chance to get a blow. That's a rest period for us.
Yeah.
So. But I try to get our kids to understand that after they have their physical, if a lot of them go through the district, have a free physical, where they get a full, thorough physical. If anything's wrong with their heart or anything like that, they go to a specialist. So I just try to tell the kids like when we were young, our parents would tell us you don't get tired, you're too young to get tired. So
yeah.
A lot of it just has to do with the
mind. Because when they go to college, boy, it's gonna be a different thing.
Oh yeah. So we just
and that's one thing I try to instill. I mean, we do a lot of things. So we may do conditions at the middle at the beginning of practice. We may do it at the middle, and all of a sudden we may do it at the beginning and at the end, just to get that mindset for them to understand that they could still think when they're tired or a little fatigued. And I always tell them, I don't want to see the top of your head, so don't bend over. You know, and that's one thing. I want to see your eyes, because if you're on the sideline, you're tired and you've been over, whatever coach is saying, you're not paying them any attention. So eye contact and things of that nature. So, and I just hope it just continually go. I don't want to say that and we flop on Saturday.
I got you. All right, the last question, because I got to do this in 30 seconds. Will we have a visor watch this year? That's all I need to know.
I'm trying to watch. My wife, you know what? Darius White, one of our former coaches over at Arlington Heights, you know, one of my former kids that played for me, Darius White, and you know, he done started throwing his visor, so he laughed. You know, we laugh about it, but I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna prove it.
I got it. Your dad wore hats, so just wear one of his old hats. That way you won't throw it down.
So I'm gonna have to wear a cowboy hat one game, and you'll know why. That's it.
All right, I got you. Hey, we've been talking with Coach Lawson here, the Wildcat Walkthrough here on the BGC Sports Network. We thank everybody. Be sure to follow the Dunbar Wildcats. Coach, thank you so much, and have yourself a great day. Okay.
You too, Ted. Thanks for having me.